Hey there, CJ Math students. Welcome to homework 1.2, converting between fractions and decimals. This is a practice homework. Calculators are okay, but you must show work. So first it says write each as a decimal using repeating decimals when necessary. So we learned that we're taking our denominator and dividing it into our numerator. And then we know that obviously 3 can't go into 2, so we say decimal, decimal, 0. And then 3 into 20, 6 times. That's 18. We got 2 left over. Put down another 0, bring it on down. 3 into 20 is another 6, and that's 18 again. Put down 2 left over, bring another 0 down, and we can stop here because we're just going to figure out it's just going to be 0.666 repeated, right? So if you're looking for your answer there, what's the closest thing to 0.666 repeated? It's D, right? All right, for number 3, we're taking our denominator again, 4, our bottom number, that's why I put it in red, into 3. Obviously, we can't do that, so we say decimal, decimal, 0. 4 goes into 37 times. That's 28. You got 2 left over. Put down another 0. 4 goes into 25 times. Maybe extend that divisor line a little bit. That's 20. Nothing left over. 0.75. Be careful. I've intentionally, put answers that look very similar to the correct answer right there. Real quickly, I'll do one mixed number for you. Let's hop down to problem like number 5. So I have 9 1/4. So basically, I should only be concerned about the fraction part right now because that's the part that I need to figure out. I know my whole number is going to be 9. So 4 into 1 can't happen, so 1.0. So 4 into 10, it goes in there 2 times with 8. You got 2 left over. Put down a 0, bring it on down, and 4 into 20, 5 times. So my answer then should be 9.25, right? Because that was my whole number, 8, right? So for a problem like number 7, 1 7/8, again, all I got to worry about is figuring out what 7/8 is. I know I'm going to have a whole number of 1, right? So I'm going to say 8, that should be in red, the denominator first, 8. Into 7, can't do it, so decimal, decimal, 0. So 8 goes into 70 8 times, because that's 64. We got 6 left over. 8 goes into 67 times, because that's 56. We got 4 left over, another 0. And finally, 8 goes into 47 times, so that's 40, and we're done, right? So 0.875. And that's why it's because we had our 1 whole there. 1.875 is our answer. Okay, B. So that's it. I'm going to do here on the front part section. Make sure you show your work, right? Just like I've shown my work on the odds. So on the next section, it's very similar, right? We did this in class, right? All you're going to do to write a decimal as a fraction, you're just going to say, okay, that decimal is in the 10th spot. Because it's in the 10th spot, I need to put 4 over 10. And then obviously, whether you use your calculator or not, show your work. I'm simplifying by dividing by 2, and I get 2/5 as my answer, so C, right? Number 13, all right? Again, we've got a whole number, but I'm worried more about the decimal, so this is in the 100th spot. Because it's in the 100th spot, I'm going to say I have 44 over 100, right? Because it was in the 100th spot. And then basically I need to simplify this, so divide by 4, and I get 11 over 20, but that's not my answer because I had 3 wholes, right? So it's 3, sorry, that should be 25, not 20, my fault. 3 and 11 over 25, all right? So A. So that's the last one I'm going to do there for you. Problem like 19, 0.3 repeated, that's just something you have to memorize. Or if it's multiple choice, you can be like, all right, let me eliminate ones there. So notice this has a whole number of 3, so that can't be it. This has a whole number of 1, so that can't be it. And I just know that this is equal to 1.3 because it's 3/10, right? This is 3 point. I know what 1/3 is. It's 3, 3, 3 repeated, right? 2 is just equal to 2, so that can't be it. So it's got to be D, right? And you could double check it by saying, all right, how many times does 3 go into 1.0? Okay, it goes in there 3 times. That's 9. 1 left over. Oh, goes in there 3 times. So yeah, obviously it's going to repeat again and again, okay? All right, for the word problems, they're very straightforward. It's just plucking out kind of what the question is actually asking. So it says there were 6 girls and 18 boys in Mrs. Johnson's math class. Write the number of girls as a fraction to the number of boys. So that's what they're asking us to do. They're asking us to write the number of girls is a fraction to the number of boys. And then they're asking to then write the fraction as a repeating decimal. All right, so it's 6 girls to 18 boys. So it might be helpful to like simplify this first, right? So divide by 6, right? Because that will give us 1/3. And now it says write that as a repeating decimal. We just did that up in the last problem, right? So that is as a repeating decimal 0.333 repeated because we've memorized what 1/3 was, right? You could show the long division if you really wanted to. And number 3, it says cellular phones in Italy. 74 out of every 100 people use a cell phone, right? The fraction of cell phone users in Italy, okay? But then write the fraction as a decimal, okay? So we've got 74 out of 100, right? And guess what? This is base 10. Write it in big, bold letters at the bottom. It's base 10. Because it's base 10, all we get to do is say 0.74. Boom, we're done. Okay? All right, that's it. Call me if you have questions. Show all work.